How you doing? I got a DJI S900, which was originally a hexacopter, but I'm playing with the idea now of converting it to an octocopter, right? X. So basically, for people who don't know what that is, this motor spins one way and the other spins the other way, and using an autopilot that can handle this type of configuration. Also, it's going to be waterproof in it as well. So all the SCs, which are originally on the bottom of the arms, have been taken off. They're going to be configured in a way inside. Obviously, they're probably going to need some cooling assistance, but this is going to be a waterproof dome, and because these are brushless motors, they'll be able to handle a bit of rain in this way as well. So basically, what I've done is I've taken the side arms off. I've bought two extra motors. Well, I bought two arms, right? Two extra arms, a left and a right. That doesn't make any difference. The only thing you've got to watch is that the arms, when you put them back on, there is a slight angle. If you look down this arm, you'll notice that the end from here to the other end, they are slightly angled, right? So when you assemble this, you've got to make sure that, as you can see with this design now, right? I'm assuming that anyway, you can still drop the arms, and also when the leg raises, it still clears the props. You might notice that. It's not a true 90-degree like quad arm. They're slightly close, but I know that. I'm pretty confident that this system will fly, because I've seen something somebody built. It was a ride-on one, it was, and they actually had the props overlapping. Also, I noticed that, you know, when you put the arms back on, you've got to make sure that you've got it's all equal. The angles are all equal, like I said before. Yeah, but basically what happens is you take the ESC off the arm, right, and then another motor will literally just screw up underneath. Obviously now, when you configure the autopilot, you got to make sure that you set the directions of all the motors according to the autopilot, which means that these props, because they've got to spin in opposite directions, you're going to have to turn them over and make sure they're all in the right orientation. The question's going to be the amount of thrust that's generated from these. Is this chassis now, which is quite thin, is it going to be able to take the stress? So basically what I've done is, anyway, I've got some 4mm, right? 4mm carbon fibre sheet, and it is really thick, right? So if it came to it, I can change it. So if you want to follow along, and once I get, so basically, anyhow, just to continue a second, what I'm going to do is the wires coming off the motors will just go direct to the ESCs, and the ESCs now, all these, I'll bunch them up, you know, screw them all together and fix them inside. So you'll have to take the wires then from the outside, either on the outside of the boom or inside of the boom if there's enough room, to each ESC then in its correct order. So basically, because it's a bit of a test flight, I got a little bit of wiring to mess about with, like, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens, innit?